We click on record. I check 2 to 3 seconds. I can say, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the I Sigma Live podcast. I'm here with probably the only person all day that I don't really need to introduce, Mr. Nate Campbell.
That's very kind of you. Hey, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to you. You did this as a favor. So I just want to say thanks. I know you've been stuck in this room and it seems like they don't give you a lot of air conditioning. I really appreciate you taking the time, the effort, the energy, because you don't do anything halfway. You do it all the way or not at all, and I really respect it and appreciate you. Thanks for taking my call, and thanks for being here.
Oh, no worries. I actually was going to thank you because this has been a lot of fun. I've had an opportunity to catch up with a lot of old friends, meet a lot of new people, and quite honestly, the conversations have been fabulous. I don't think any that we've kind of just struggled. I'm not really a podcaster. So, it was, for me, it was just about getting to sit with people, really interesting people, get them to tell their story and, have those conversations and see which rabbit holes we would go down. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I hope the people I've interviewed, tolerated, because I can never replace Mr. Tom Adams, as you know, with Mr. Energy Bunny. So I have to bring it my own kind of style, and hopefully that's worked. But I've had an absolute blast.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you'll do it again, we'll take care of getting you there, because we're going to go to Orlando next year. Who doesn't want to go to Orlando?
Especially.
And we need to figure out a way to get you back in this industry at any place, to get you here just a podcast. Everybody who knows you, misses you. I still remember, Ian, when you did the presentation with the Google Glass.
The Google Glass,
and the predictions of the future of records management. I still need to find that PowerPoint, but maybe next year we could have you be a part of our records session and get you to come out, and we can do some of this and increase your usage, because you bring so much talent and value to what we do. So
I appreciate that.
I know I've already had people say, God, it's nice seeing Ian. It's been so long. I go, you could see him? No, I'm just kidding. No, it's true though. I'm just joking. But no, it's great having you here. I'm blessed that you took the time to give me 30 minutes or whatever we're going to do today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, so let's chat. I mean, we're closing in, not really the end, because you've got board meetings tomorrow for you, but for the main show. So again, my big question at the moment is like, how's it gone? Because the energy has been absolutely tremendous.
Yeah. Well, I think, I don't want to, it's not over yet.
No.
We still got the awards tonight,
Yep.
Sponsored by Shred Tech. And I think this is new, the way that we're doing the awards. First time we've done it in my 4 years. So really excited about that. But, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback. I think we opened up with a really great executive session. I mean, where can you go for $150 and get the kind of content that we delivered with someone who did you see his resume?
Oh, I believe he spoke at Davos.
Like 18 months ago, he's consulted and helped Bill Gates, Steven Spielberg, Deloitte & Touche, you name the company, Elon Musk. I mean, the guy's really smart. The only reason we could get him is because he lived in Palm Springs and was close. Otherwise, we could have never afforded a guy like that. To follow that up with Steve Sauceda, who talked about leadership in today's world and generations. And then, as you saw, Tom Adams, who's just freaking unbelievable. He closed it off and made it personal to everybody and how they could apply it to the industry. So I think that was good. Yesterday's keynote, we got a lot of great feedback. The boat, I forgot the boat. Did you go on the boat?
I did not, unfortunately, but that was awesome.
I would say that might be the most, I thought it was going to be impossible to do better than Billy Bob's. Have you ever been to Billy Bob's?
No.
Billy Bob's is in Texas. It's the largest honky tonk in the United States. And it was fabulous last year. So I'm like, a boat, weather, wind. Oh my God, I was worried as heck. I think, you've been here, have you heard anybody say anything?
No,
the boat was
no.
perfect. It was awesome.
Everybody said it was an absolutely fantastic time. They really enjoyed it. And I mean, the weather is unseasonably really nice as well at the moment. I mean, it's always nice here, but it's unseasonably much, much better than usual.
Yeah, but we have great sponsors here. People have good energy. We have the cocktail party that helped get it going into the boat and the opening receptions. I really appreciate Annex and Iron Mountain and all the big sponsors. Dan Makarevich with Arthur Hall, who sponsored our lunch today. So I love my sponsors. I mean, they're just great. We can't make people don't. They hear it over and over, so maybe they forget, but the cost for a conference without corporate partners and people who are exhibiting and sponsoring events, we couldn't do any of this stuff. And what we're trying to balance, or at least the focus has been, we want to create an event where you can go get information and perspective, because you're in your business, you're dealing with contracts and broken down equipment and HR issues. You don't have time. You're so in your business, you need to stop occasionally. And if you're going to stop and invest time and money, then I better deliver on some content that can give you some perspective, help you think about different ways to improve your business. And so you probably heard this today, but our goal at iSigma, our goal is, can we help our members compete better, grow faster, and make more money and do it in a profitable way? And so all of our content is around that, and we try to do it with fun wrapped around those things. So the boat, the truck lot party, tonight, dueling pianos.
It's going to be fabulous.
I heard you sing like Billy Joel, so we can't wait to see you out there.
Yeah, if you want to clear the place really quick, get me doing that.
I don't even sound good in a shower. So no, I think again, so that's what we try to do. We try to balance those things out, deliver some message, have some awards, a little bit of fun, a little bit of seriousness, learn, gain perspective. And if we do that well, then people are happy. And I would say overwhelming, you asked me, I'll now answer the question more directly. I think overall we've had nothing but really great feedback, a couple of nice suggestions. We listen, we'll adapt, iterate, and keep trying to get better.
Yeah. Well, I've even heard, which I think is fairly unique in this industry, and it's always been this way to me, is how the vendors and attendees, the corporates and all, how they work so well together. I mean, vendors sharing information with other vendors, about the future and talking. And they've said they enjoy as much time in the exhibit hall when others aren't in, and they're just starting to mix amongst themselves. And I just don't hear that. I've been to other trade shows not in this industry, and that doesn't happen. That's very, very unique, I think, to iSigma and previously Prism and NAID.
When was the last time you went to an iSigma, Prism, or NAID conference? Has it been 15 years?
I left Iron Mountain in 2017, early 2017, so it would have been 2016.
Okay, and so how do you feel about the way that, from what you could tell, how did you think it matched up versus where it was back then?
Oh, I think the energy has been huge. Now, I've been fortunate by people coming in here. They're coming in with good energy for the conversations. But every time I've walked around, just stopping people, everybody's in groups, everybody's talking and sharing, and there's a huge amount of energy around the place. And it's a little spread out here. That would be, as you're moving. But it means people are walking together and they're sharing ideas. So I would say you've lost nothing, and in fact you've probably gained by bringing the shredding, because it wasn't really the shredding and it was Prism and NAID at the time, they were separate. I think we did maybe one, but it still felt a little them and us. Here it doesn't feel like that at all. It truly does feel like one association that's now become blended together.
I love to hear that. Yeah, that's great. Well, we work hard at it. I got a great team. My team, Gina and Jenny and Price, who are they're my consiglieres. They help make everything happen. They deserve a lot. Jenny, this year we had the exhibit floor completely sold out. We had no extra spots.
Isn't that fantastic?
So the work that she did to get that, make that happen, and find new. One of the feedback loops that we get is, hey, we want to see some new exhibitors because we need, somebody to downstream our electronics with. So she went and found those people. So she did an amazing job. Gina organizing this thing, it's a monumental task.
Oh, yeah.
And she did a really great job coordinating, getting all the PowerPoint, and getting everything together. It's monumental. Okay. And so her team with Rachel and Karen and Vanessa, my team here has just been, and Maggie, my gosh, she just had a kid 5 months ago, and she is crushing it for us. So I'm really proud of my team. They really make it all happen. I love when people go, oh, Are you the person I should talk to? No, I'm not. You should really talk to this other person. I know nothing. They just put my ugly mug in front of everybody because I'm louder than everybody. So, but no, I'm really happy with it. I think we did good. People love San Diego. If it's near water, they're going to like it. So we had really good numbers this year. For the people, I don't know where there it is. For the people who didn't show up, you messed up. I mean, you got a lot of value. There was a lot of value this year, and they missed it.
Yeah. What do you think was some of the themes then? If there was a few different themes that really drove through this conference, which may be different to previous ones or built on previous ones, what do you think they were?
Yeah, standing still is not a neutral position.
Nope.
It's falling behind. And so we really wanted to bring some educational sessions in a lot of different areas. So we had a lot of ITAP because we did a market and industry study. I don't know if you had a chance to step into that.
I did not, no.
With Match Engine, we put together a supply side and a demand side report. And the feedback and the data tell an incredible story from what our clients are saying they want. They want certainty and they want to know what's going to happen. They don't want to do the audits. They want a certified provider to do it. And I'm not making that up because I'm the leader of iSigma. This was from 50,000 phone calls in the last 3 months on what is moving the needle. They want an asset lifecycle partner. They want someone who can store it, hold on to it, destroy it, and retire it at the end of the day, and they want to do it with one company. So if you can be a dual stream or a multi-stream company, you're moving in the right direction. If you're not, you're falling behind. You already have the routes; they're already set up. So why wouldn't you get more out of everything? Right now, something like 50% of our members will pick up something for less than $100. You better have a really dense route. 36% of our members that responded to their survey said that they do less. No, only 36% of our members, excuse me, it's the other way around. Only 36% of our members said they do more than 20 jobs on a truck a day. And if you're doing that for under $100, you can't make money that way. So I want the data in that industry study. And for those who aren't here, you should have been there because there's a lot of ways for you to learn what's happening with route optimization, head counts, downtime. Those are the three big ones, and what clients want. And clients were direct with us.
Yeah, I think following on from that, so one of the themes that's clearly come through, especially with the conversation I've had, is it being compliance now, and really changing to become that compliance partner for your customer, and everything from having the right procedures in place, the chains of custodies, all of these things. It's no longer that you're just the shredder or you're just the storage provider. It's very clear that everybody has to now broaden and be much deeper than that with their clients. And then, as you say, that means they can get more service or they can offer more services to the same client. Your cost of acquisition now has dropped and you've got opportunities to generate a lot more revenue.
Already there. So why not? I mean, you know what, to me, one of the worst things that ever could happen when I used to run a business is when you'd go to meet with a client. I'm sure you've met with a lot of clients too. Didn't you hate when they said, I didn't know you did that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It kills you, doesn't it?
That was like, oh, that means I've been, because if you don't get the revenue, it's lost forever.
Yeah.
Right? So if you've been servicing that client for a year and they've needed your service, two things happen. A, you're letting somebody else in there that might develop that trust and that full dual stream. And two, all that money you didn't get, you'll never get.
Never get.
You never get it again. Yeah. So to me, that's what the data is. Sharing. And so we spent a lot of time around those kinds of topics, and we want to help organizations. I think iSigma needs to pivot also because of this. We need to start moving from being a transactional organization that's focused on the pricing and paper. You're not shredding documents. You're an asset lifecycle partner. You're ensuring all that happens. If you think you're shredding, you're missing the boat. I can't help you.
It's just a very narrow view of what's possible. And again, just talking to all the different vendors here and the meetings I've had, it's been incredible to see that there are so many opportunities to meet with these vendors to do that expansion and diversify your business. You're not alone. You're creating a place, a marketplace of vendors where people can go to trusted advisors. They're already probably working with other iSigma members, so you know who these are. You can go talk to them, and they can help you to grow your business. You don't need to do it yourself.
Yeah, also, another thing to think about is that if you don't do it, someone else is gonna. If you don't pivot, if you don't, you don't change in any way, someone else is going to, and that someone else is going to be half my age, who's just going to be have twice the amount of energy and get it done. That's just human nature. It's just, and it's iterating faster, So I think there's a great opportunity. The now that things are moving in technology, the technology changes of how often people go before. How often do most people go before they get their next phone? 2 years, 3 years tops, and they're rotating. So that means the electronic e-waste, e-recycling, asset disposition, those kinds of things, it's going to be $100 billion in opportunity. Don't you want to get your fair share?
So I haven't been out of the industry for 9 years. I came here with the mindset, shredding, paper. I've been blown away by some of the great and really interesting stories around ITAD, the silver recovery. What a great conversation I had there. Huge amounts of money potentially being left on the table.
There are companies that are doing some amazing stuff, and our members need to look at that innovation and see how they can incorporate it.
Yeah, and then with the partners here, as you say, if you just look through the partner directory and see what they do, there's enough to start idea generation going on there.
But you saw the agenda. We had a lot of variability. We had a records thing, and we had a speaker come in that talked about how they were doing. You remember records a lot because of your past.
Yeah,
doing robotic capture, right? Because that's a tedious job, right?
Oh,
remember pulling this? Remember we pulled the staples, sorted the paper, got it all by the same size, and then ran it through a machine. That's all being done by a robot.
Which is
then that's not enough though. So all that does is you capture different things, and it creates unstructured data. And they try to bring structure to it, but now they're overlaying AI. And with that client's data, they're using AI to then tell them what's going on in their business. They're summarizing the goods and the bads and going, hey, do you realize you have a gap here? Do you realize you could grow here? Because they're structuring that data with AI. That is a fast forward thinking organization. And so they spoke. So we had some record stuff. We do have a lot of shredding stuff still. Our truck suppliers are great. Although a lot of the exhibit hall still supports everything around shredding, but we had twice as much ITAD and how to get into ITAD, what ways you could just tiptoe in by outsourcing to a downstream, to doing full ITAD where you're doing asset tracking, all those things. So I don't know. We tried.
No, I think if you look at the whole spectrum, you've given people leaving here a lot of opportunities, a lot of ideas of how they can grow their business. And again, without having to take too much of a risk. One of the things I found really interesting talking to almost everyone was their willingness to just pick up a phone and just say, hey, if somebody's just curious, call me. I'm happy to talk about it. And if it's not the right time for you, don't worry about it. Certification is such a big thing. So you've got to get your head around it. You've got to know that once you've decided to go for any certification, you're all in. But talk now. Start to get the wheels moving. Maybe at 6 months' time, you're ready then to take those first steps. But
yeah, and you know what? Thinking of standards and community, like 2 parts of the 5-part plan. The standards, our certifications, our auditors are confirming your compliance. So you sign up to say, here's the spec manual, here are the things that we do, and our auditors are going out and they're confirming your compliance so that you can then take that to an organization and say, here's the certainty, here are the things that we do. We're giving you the playbook. The certification, Privacy Plus and NAAA certification, it's giving you the playbook. And we have a community that if you get stuck, That's one of the things about Sigma and Prism. As you said, you could reach out, and our community is always willing to help and support one another, because a healthy industry, is good for, like it's been said a couple times, right? A rising tide raises all ships.
Yep.
And so it's really nice the way that works. But you know what? Regulations, we're not getting fewer.
No. Yeah.
So between CMMC 2.0 and the NIST 888 and some others that are coming in, they're going to want more. And guess what they don't want to do? They don't want to come to your facility. They want an organization like iSigma to make their standards even harder. Okay. And this is what everybody who watches this doesn't want to hear. Yeah, but we need to elevate and keep rising the standards, and there's going to be people that will struggle to meet some of those standards, but that probably unfortunately, it needs to happen, because those entities in the government and the GSA and the healthcare industry, they want to know that you meet all of their requirements, and they don't want to audit you. That takes time, effort, and energy. If you say that you meet the standard, and we're doing two kinds of audits. We do the standard scheduled audit, and then we do an unannounced audit. Nobody else does that. So that's how that's kind of the symbiotic relationship that we have with our corporate partners, the community, and the association.
That's amazing. And this keeps building. So two announcements today, which I thought were fascinating. Love to hear your thoughts on these. One is the international conference in Bangkok.
Oh.
And then obviously next year's conference in Orlando. So
look at you paying attention. You're so good.
Tell me a little bit about Bangkok.
What do you think about Bangkok as an international location?
It's a great. I mean, I think any of those Asian cities, Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur, Singapore, they have just amazing flight connections. So they're very easy for everybody to get into. If you're coming from the US or from Europe, hopefully people can tag a little bit of a vacation in there and really enjoy the culture. I was in Thailand last year. I actually met up with Angus Wildey down there.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen Angus, because Angus and I worked at Brambles for a while.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I was down there.
I think Bangkok's a nice location. It's fairly central, lots of direct flights.
Yep.
And I think Bangkok and like Singapore and a lot of those markets out there, they have the high end and the low end. So we can help a large part of those organizations by helping educate around standards and how to get into the business in a easy and simple way, and then grow and develop in that role. And then you have other organizations. You've been there, you've seen it. And the gentleman from O'Neill today is like, yeah, we have clients that do, they're doing Star Wars. And then we also know people that are, burying records in a hole and burning it and calling it shredding. So you get a real diverse group of sophistication. And so I think there's a lot of interest for it. We haven't done anything international in 4 years.
Oh, really?
But we're at a position as an organization where we can start taking some risks and invest. And so we're investing in Bangkok. I think it'll be good. It'll be interesting to see how the international community does it. First time in a long time. I'm not setting the bar too high, but I think we can do something cool and have a really informative boutique kind of first time session. Yeah. And then Orlando, come on. Everybody in this organization has families. They want to use the conference as a tax, to make it part of their organization's cost. Yep. And so they're going to be able to, tax some family, like you said, tax some family time on, a little bit of business, a little bit of work, a little bit of fun, a little bit of play. Everybody's happy.
It really works well, doesn't it? Back to the international second. I mean, I used to really love the international conferences. As you say, you go to the different markets. You look at India and Pakistan and Dubai, and the amount of paper that's still available there. They're different. They're different markets, and so a lot of the skill sets that people can bring, great opportunity to learn and either help other members down there or learn new things. I've seen some of the ideas in the past that were things that were being done in those international markets that people then brought to the US and put them on as a unique service. So I think it's a great opportunity not to just think that you're going to go down there and they're learning from you. You may pick up
that's
some
what
great
I'm saying.
ideas.
We are. We're going to. There's going to be sophistication that we can learn from, and then there's going to be some that we can help through that sophistication. So we're trying to put it all together. Right now, it's a blank
blank slate?
piece of paper, and we get to build it any way that our international members want. So we had a meeting today, and O'Neill and Aaron, Aaron's great. He's they're going to help us with some things because they have a nice international client base, and we have a couple of other international
Vendors, yeah.
corporate partners to help us. So let's see what happens. I kind of have budgeted some loss because we didn't have that ability before, but let's see if we can at least make it a net neutral to budget type of thing and see if we can't turn it into something that we can do consistently. Because if we can get numbers, we'll start to do it consistently.
Yeah. So I remember the very first Prism International Conference was called, what was it called? The Prism Across Borders in 1998. That was in London, and I organized that one.
Yeah, well, nice.
So
were you on the board of Prism?
As a corporate partner.
As a corporate partner, okay.
I think I served for 2 years on that one.
Okay, yeah. So I've served on both before I started doing it from this side, but I was on your side before, I was on that side of the microphone before, Yeah. So it's been a long time. Yeah. What else? What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything really much at the moment. A lot of what I call doing nothing is doing something. It's really interesting to sit there and ponder when nothing is something. So I've done a lot of vibe coding. So it was interesting sitting in with Tom. We talk about that a lot, as you can imagine. I tell people a story. My neighbor I just moved, but my previous neighbor has got 2 10-year-old daughters. And she says, I've got to go out. I've got an emergency. Can you look after my 2 10-year-old daughters? And my wife usually is there. So 2 10-year-old girls, what the hell do I know what to do with them? So they come over. So we built an app. So they built a nice doll app where they selected what the dolls would do through the app, through selections, and it printed out a picture for them. So they go home and they had an iPad app running, which they were showing all their friends.
When you vibe code, what tool do you find the easiest to use to create those things?
So I do it a little bit differently. So the way that I vibe code is I do it in multi-step. So you could argue, is it vibe coding? So my mindset around software development has been work with a product manager to really understand what we talk about, the user stories, and then talk to a software engineer to really figure out how those user stories could be architected. And then through that senior software engineer, you break it down into individual, we used to call them tickets, but individual jobs that you would do. And then you'd have the product manager and the engineering manager working on the test scripts to test it. So I actually replicated that. So I used ChatGPT. I find is very, very good as a product manager and an engineering manager. So I talk to my product manager first, this is a bot. That output then gets passed to my engineering manager, and we have a 3-way conversation. The engineering manager, then we break it up, and that's those little snippets in order is what I give, but I use Gemini, which is the Google tool. So I give it to Gemini AI Studio. Gemini then builds that. I'm running back saying, hey, give me the test scripts. I run that, say, hey, test this. So I treat it like, rather than just vibe coding straight in, I've kind of built a little mini software development team.
I think Gemini's come a long way. That first version really wasn't very good. No. But I like Gemini, ChatGPT, Perplexity. Those are the 3. I use Copilot. Those are the 3 or 4 that I use the most. But I just started. I've seen some really cool, and this is something that I don't know why our members wouldn't do this. We had a vibe coding session. We could have given a free registration and training from Tom today, right? Which you saw parts of, but we could have we could have had 20 more people in that room and they just didn't sign up. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I can do. We try to bring, people say that, iSigma conference is the same old. You've now been here. I think you would say it is nowhere near what it used to be.
I actually think this reminds me back probably in the early 2000s. So at that point, the industry, there was a lot of change going on. And the industry was really, really moving. I mean, between the late 1990s into the early 2000s, I was busy as heck trying to keep up with different changes. And then, we unfortunately had COVID and things like that, and a lot of things kind of slowed down a little bit. It is not slowing down here. Here it is growing and growing and growing. Here's Tom. So.
All right. Well, let's have him. Come in here. Come on
He's
down.
hiding.
Let's get him a chair.
Tom, this is
Mr.
we are
Adams,
live. We are
session.
live in the.
We're
in
live
the
with
podcast
the
room.
man.
Come
I
on,
can't talk because you guys have the mics.
that's
but-
true.
Well, I'm
but
Happy to share. No.
no. So, well, we got to let you get on with your next
I
one.
got Richard Steve,
We-
the Robert A. Johnson Memorial.
We
Recipient.
we have
Yes.
run out of time. Could
All
you
right.
believe, Nate? You and I ran out of time. Unbelievable.
Shocking. That we could fill up 20 minutes like it was 5.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for joining us,
Yeah,
Nate.
you got it.
Good luck with the Impact Awards tonight.
Yeah.
That'll be. It's going to be a great fun
Yeah,
show.
thanks again. Both of you guys. Everybody who's watching me. Tom Adams, Vanguard Award winner, Bob Johnson Memorial Award winner. The guy is awesome, and he brings me Ian Thomas to do this. You're just a nice guy. You're so nice and
I
so
try.
pleasant and so smart. So we're really lucky to have you here this week. I would love to. And if you want to come back, you just let me know. We will figure out a way to make it happen.
We'll have that conversation. All right. Thank you
And for
so
all
much.
of our I Sigma members, thanks for those who showed up and are watching this. And for those that didn't come here, you missed out.
You missed out. Absolutely. Thanks, Nate.